What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Tulane multiple playbook in college football 25. John Summerall, he has done great things everywhere he's been. I think he won 2 conference titles at Troy before coming over here to Tulane. I think they won a division title this year. Everywhere he goes, he just does his job and does it well, and he's one of the hottest coaches on the rise, but he's a defensive guy, and his offense coordinator, Joe Craddock, I guess I got to give him credit for this offense. This is a unique playbook. It's multiple. I don't know why they would maybe want to consider it multiple. It doesn't have a lot of wild and oddball things to it, but that does have some unique personnel groupings that might make it multiple. I don't know. Either way, I think you're going to like it. It's not a very big playbook either, but we're going to go through the formations and concepts and play types and personnel, and hopefully by the end of the video you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So again, this is, I guess it is a spread offense, but they call it multiple. However, the word spread can be used loosely due to the personnel groupings, as we're going to find out here shortly. Let's start off with the formation. So the bulk of the playbook is gun. We'll work on that last. Let's start off with pistol. We got a few pistol formations. Starting off, deuce. This is a 12 personnel formation, 9 plays there. Then we got wing, another 12 personnel, and then wing slot. So you got these 3 12 personnel groupings, your 1 back, 2 tight end looks. Now keep that in mind, this 12 personnel grouping. It's very popular in this playbook, but you go through these pistol formations. There's nothing too crazy here. It's mostly run, play, action. Nothing, again, out of the ordinary, like with the Clemson playbook we looked at that had some RPOs built into it. This one doesn't really have a whole lot. It doesn't mean it's bad or anything. It's just, it's very simple. It's got a little pre-snap motion. You see here, we got a little power O. I like some of this power O stuff. If you like any pulling guards or tackles, you got some of that in here as well. But I'm running a little power O right here so we can get a decent block or two, get up the field. Not bad. Nice little spin move. Get something out of that, but you got play action on top of that. So we'll go over here and see that one as well. There it is, PE, power O, and then you got dagger, and you got a read option, play action on top of that. Dive, again, just very simple things that are in all 3 of these formations. These are good to sprinkle in when you're going through here and running some of this pistol stuff. Again, just run, play action, a little drop back if you need it. So if you need a little pistol, there you go. We also got an I formation. It's I tights. This is good for your 3rd and short, 4th and short. And again, it's pretty simple what they got going on right here, but we do got an RPO, which I find really interesting. It's a tight end RPO, a backside tight end, run a little glance route, a little slant. I think that's pretty neat. You don't see that too often. And we got a wildcat formation. So I think what EA likes to do with these playbooks is anytime there is a wildcat formation of some sort, they think it's a completely different offense altogether when you sneak that into like a spread playbook or a pro style playbook. Either way, you got exactly 3 plays here: jet sweep, play action, jet sweep, things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and just call it the basic jet sweep. I haven't run a wildcat play in forever, but it's here if you need it, and this is like, I think, the most popular wildcat formation in the entire game. I see more unbalanced than I do about anything else in here, but you do got a nice little special teams, well, not special teams, nice little reverse pass, little trick play if you need that. So you got nice situational things. This is kind of what I like about the playbook so far that we've talked about. You got your 3rd and 4th and short. You got a little wildcat if you want to sneak that in. And of course, we've already talked about the pistol. Now let's talk about the shotgun. So again, the bulk of the playbook is this, and we're starting off with gun wing, another 12 personnel set. Look at number 9 and 87, your tight ends. Then we got wing slot offset, another 12 personnel look. Then we finally get into some 11 personnel. Doubles Y off week, you got 18 plays there. Stack off week, Y off week. Then you got Y off trips. Then you got Y off trips week. Then you got Y off trio week. Then you get bunch wide. So that number 87, he's still out there, so it's still 11 personnel. Then we get into double stack. Guess what? That tight end is still out there. And then we get into some actual 4 wide looks, some 10 personnel sets. This is spread offset with 15 plays. And we got trips halfback week. So it's not all 11 and 12 personnel. You can get your 4 wide receivers out there if needed. And then last but not least, we got ace or empty base flex. This is another 11 personnel because you go back, look at your halfback, number 21, and your tight end is 87. When you look here, both of them are out there. So you got an empty look if you need it. And that's the entire playbook. This is one of the smaller playbooks in the game. I didn't go back and see how many plays there were. I didn't count them up compared to some other ones, but it just feels like there's just not a lot here. But that's not a bad thing. You don't need 400 plus plays to have a successful offense. So while we're in here, let's go through these. I always like to look for the pre-snap motions if there are any. Let's go to wing slot offset. Here we have our first pre-snap motion from the gun is jet sweep action. You got the fake, you got the actual jet sweep, you got play action off of that. We can keep on going. Now we have a little exit motion with a halfback. This is a little bit different here. If you notice the one on the left, we got a double cross. That's technically mesh with like a shallow cross built into it, which is pretty cool. We got inside zone split and a play action off of that. So you got two tight end motions right there. Then we got some more. We got motion counter, kind of like what we just done out of that pistol formation earlier with that power O. Then we got double pivot right there, which is pretty cool. The pivot routes work really good in this game. I'm gonna see if I can pull this off. But again, just a lot of window dressing with this particular play. Get your halfback out there. So you got some empty in here. You just do a little pre-snap motion beforehand. Nice, very simple stuff right here. Good little man beater. Pick up some serious yardage right there. So that's pretty cool. So you keep on going. We got some more fun motions to look at. We go through here, so we just looked at those. We looked at those, and you notice here we got 18 plays out of this formation. You go to doubles way off weak. Now we got more jet sweep action. We got the toss, fake jet, and then we got a jet pass, fake toss. Then you keep on going. Do we have any more in this formation? We do not. What about stack Y off wing? Normally these stacks don't have a lot of pre-snap motion, and this one doesn't. Here we have another halfback motion. We got a stick and nod, Y screen. The Y screens are cool. If you got a tight end that's dynamic, you definitely want to include that play. Inside zone split, a little pre-snap motion there. And we got play action off of that. So we're seeing a variety of pre-snap motion, and I like that. But if that's your thing, then yes, I think you'll like the playbook. All right, Y off trips week. Do we have any in here? Yes, we do. We got more halfback swing. We got a swing. We got a pump and go. We got a spot concept on top of that. Keep on going. We got more halfback swing. This is a Z spot. Then we got tight end screen, a slip screen. Again, that's all pretty cool. Just a nice little unique set of plays we got here. We got flood. Let's see, we got any more pre-snap motion in this formation? I don't think we do. What about bunch wide? Normally, the more spread out you get, the less motion you're going to see, but that's not always the case. Like here's double stack. These are really more niche, very simple screens and RPOs, things of that nature. But those are very simple to run. I like those. Spread offset. Now we're getting to the four wide stuff. I don't see any pre-snap motion there. What about trips halfback weak? I don't see any there. An empty base flex. Every now and then you may come across an empty formation that's got pre-snap motion. This one doesn't, but that's okay. What did we look at earlier from some of these other formations? When you're motioning your halfback out, you're going to end up with an empty formation like this stuff right here. This is all technically empty. Either way, that's pretty cool, but that's it. That's the entire playbook. Again, there's not a whole lot here, but it doesn't make it a bad thing at all. You got more than enough here to have fun. But let's go look at some personnel. So this is the one thing I really wanted to drive home. Let's talk about this. So the bulk of the playbook is going to be that 11 personnel like you would see in most of these playbooks. You go to 23, that's your goal line. Your 10 personnel, I like that. It gives me enough of the four wide looks if I need it. You got 30 plays here total. Then you go to 12 personnel. This is, I think, what makes this playbook a little bit different than these other ones in terms of just basic spread / multiple playbooks. All this 12 personnel, all of it, just a ton of it right there. Look at all those plays. If you like to get two tight ends out there, but you still want to kind of keep it spread and gun-ish, but throw a little pistol as well. I mean, this is a great playbook to do that with. Of course, we got our Wildcat. 32 is your QB kneel. 22 is that I-form type. And 21 is your clock management. So again, it's just a nice variety of personnel. That's a big thing for me. Some people are more than happy just being 11 personnel all day. I like being able to throw in a couple tight ends or maybe 4 wide receivers. You definitely can do that with this playbook. So let's go over some concepts. This is what really is the heart of your offense, is the type of plays you run. But you notice the play counts. They're just not really big numbers. We're used to seeing like the Clemson playbook had, 100 deep passes? This one only has 65. That kind of gives you an idea of how small this playbook is. But let's start off with the runs. ISO, you got 3 of these. You got a halfback direct if you like that. You got 8 powers if you need a pulling lineman of some sort, usually a guard, you're going to have that here. 8 of those. You got 8 counters. Anytime you got a bunch of power, you're going to have about the same amount of counter. And there you go. You got some pre-snap motion built into that as well. You got 6 draws, so a nice amount for it being a drop back. Again, the playbook just isn't very big. But inside zone, 13 plays. This is going to be the main run concept that you will be running. Outside zone, 6. Now, we do got some pistol. Let me just see. Yeah, so there's a couple pistol in there. But we got actually quite a bit of outside zone from the gun. There's not a ton of that in this game. Most of it's inside zone related, but you can really get to the outside if possible, if your receivers can block for you and whatnot. But either way, it's there if you need it. So I like the variety in terms of being able to go in to outside of the tackle box. Sweep, you got 2 of those. One of them is just a basic jet, and then the other one is a strong toss from your goal line. Now let's talk about the option. So we got a little bit of RPO, we got a little bit of option here. Starting off with the inverted veer, you got 1 of those. You got 1 load option, it's technically a speed option. We got 10 read options. This is pretty typical. This is usually your most common option concept in the entire game. There's that speed option again. And zone option. So it's another speed option technically. So you got a couple speeds if you like those. I enjoy those more than the read option. It's just easier for me to use. I'm not good with the read options. RPOs, we got 5 reads. You notice a lot of these are glances, but we got some bubbles and shocks and sticks and just little things of that nature. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We got 2 peaks. That is that bubble wipe pop, which I think is pretty cool. If you got a tight end who can handle it, like I'm going to go ahead and select that. Let's go up against nickel. Let's go up against like a cover 0. Let's see if I can pull this off. I may get sacked out of the gate. I'm going to say if I can get over the top. Nope, I just threw that way too lightly and way too soon. But either way, that's really cool that you can do that. And that actually may work better if you had if it was going up against zone, you may have a hole right there to go to. But either way, another way to give your tight end. So you notice a theme here. This playbook really loves tight ends. They got tight end screens. We got RPOs for tight ends. You kind of get the hint there. Then we got alerts, 12 of them. So you got more glances, more basic receiver screens, basic bubbles, alerts, things of that nature. There's a shock if you need that as well, and just more bubbles and alerts, and there's that tight end pop. So again, another tight end RPO. I love that. It's very tight end oriented for it being supposedly a multiple/spread playbook. Let's look at the quick passes. We got 2 Ohios if you like to go out combo. You got 10 slants. If you're going to have that much slant, you'll probably have that much stick. Go to spacing, 2 of those, and then there's 7 sticks. So those sticks and slants will go together. So you got a little bit of air raid in there if you need it. And speaking of air raid, let's see if we got any air raid concepts in the medium passes. This is where the bulk of your air raid concepts are going to be at. But you got 5 choices, pretty much any option route anywhere in a play. They're going to stick it here. Good old Hoss wide juke. That is New England Patriots, Tom Brady, all that stuff. It's just really cool to use. I'm going to go ahead and call that. Again, it's just all about the little Y. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Nope, it worked out good. That worked out all right. I didn't know which route he was going to roll. Anytime you're dealing with a choice route, you just never know what the receiver may end up doing, even though you think he may do it. But anyway, you got 5 plays there. You got 9 curls. So any type of curl or a hitch, they're going to dump it here. You got 7 double moves. You got 3 drives. You got 2 levels. You got a few mesh. You got a pivot. You got 3 Salem. You got 4 shallow crosses, and you got 2 slot crosses, and you got 20 smash. This is by far going to be your most popular medium pass concept. Pick the ones you like. So like this smash in the middle right here at a Gun Trips halfback week. Do you like classic smash with a flag and a hitch, or do you like the corner flat concept? You got both of them in the same play right there, or you can do more classic, or either way, it's just up to you. Or you can do more of the modern one, like that red zone up with that fade route. So you got a nice little variety there. You got 3 spot routes or plays, and you got a Texas. But notice how quickly I went through all these. Look at the number count. 7, 5, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3. There's just not a lot here. Again, you don't need 18 of everything, but you do got plenty of smash at least. Let's go to deep pass. We got just a little bit more deep than mediums. We got 4 divides. If you like the go post combo, like this PA zone shot, I'm going to go ahead and just call this right now and really talk about their shot plays. They're pretty prevalent in this. This is a bad play, double coverage. I should have went to one of the outside go routes. Either way, you got plenty of play action over the top, and we're going to see that in the shot plays here in a minute. So flood, you got 9 of these. If you like to have a good backside man beater with a zone concept on the other, you got plenty of that, and they all look pretty similar to each other. Look at strong flood. Then you got basic flood. I'm seeing the same routes over and over again, and that's like my favorite way to do that. That's probably like my favorite type of flood. But there's different ways to go about doing that. You got 11 verticals, not too uncommon. A lot of verticals in most of these playbooks. But here are the shot plays. You got 18 of these. So more than likely, it's going to be a play action over the top play. Not all of these are play action. You see over here, the fake screen go. Then you got a sluggo seam, post and cross. Just a little bit of variety here. But again, kind of go over the top and really attack safety. So this is an aggressive offense, in my opinion. You take all those shot plays and all those verticals, we're going to run the ball on you. We're going to go over the top on you. Then you got 6 comebacks. I like the comeback route. It's good against man. Then you got 2 daggers. You got 5 double posts. Again, what is that? I'm seeing these same plays from over the shot play section. It's just more over the top. You got 3 meals. You got 3 Portlands, and you got a few switches if you're into the run and shoot variety. All right, play action. So notice here, so normally when you're in this section, you're only going to see like a handful of play actions, but we got to go over to the play type to see the rest of them. But notice it is showing 13 types right here. So we got 6 boots. So pretty much any type of boot action with the quarterback going around. And it's kind of a flood concept in a sense. You got 6 of those, but we got 7 slides as well. So again, what's all this look like to you? It's all about this tight end. I keep stressing this. It's all about this tight end going out for a pass or a screen or a slip or just whatever. Again, I think this is really cool, but you got a lot of slides here. So if you need that backside tight end, seeing this stuff right here, I think it's pretty neat. I'm going to go hit this guy right there. Oh, great catch. Nice play. So a really cool setup they got going on here. So you back out and look at some of the other things they got. So again, more slide action. So if you're going to see all of this, that means you're going to see a lot of inside zone splits. So if you go back to concepts, you go back to run, and notice I didn't really cover this a whole lot, but you go to inside zone, look at the different ones you got. You got basic inside zone, you got that jet sweep, but look, zone split, zone split, zone split. Zone split is everywhere. And why? Because you have all that play action on top of that with, you guessed it, all of this slide. If you're going to have a lot of inside zone split, you need to have a lot of slide as well. And here you go. You got plenty of it right there. But we're going to look at some more play actions here in a bit. Let's look at some screens. It says we got 23, but we know better. It's going to have a little bit more. And a lot of these are those RPOs we looked at. But it says we got 9 bubbles. We got 12 flanker screens if you like those jailbreaks and those really quick screens. And these are like old school screens. Like you only got one read here. There's nothing else you can do with it. This isn't an RPO, but if you like this type of screen, there you go, but that stuff can happen. See, that's kind of why I like RPOs a little bit better than something like that. But either way, it's there if you need it. You keep on going. You got, again, 12 type of flanker screens. And we also got a couple of mid screens. If you like to go over the middle to a wide receiver, you can do that. But guess what? There's a tight end screen. Again, this entire playbook is all about tight ends, honestly. But let's go over to play type. Let's go to pass. And let's look at the screens. It says we got 23 screens. None of these are the RPOs. But if you add all of those RPOs with all these screens, and you got a really cool screen game. So think run, play action, over the top, hit them deep really hard with all those shots and verticals, but throw in some screens as well. It kind of has the same vibe as a veer and shoot playbook, but it's not veer and shoot. They're not really trying to spread you out super wide. We're just really going to try to hit you over the top and hit to the outside, but without the wide splits and such, if that makes sense. But you got plenty of natural screen plays. You go to the play action, we got 36 total. A lot of those are going to be those slides and boots, but we got other types as well if you're into that. So you got more. For as small as a playbook as it is, 36 play actions is more than enough. Let's look at these runs again. I'm going to go over to inside handoff. We got 29 of these. So the bulk of your run game is going to go between the tackles. And they got different variety. But you go to the outside handoff, 7 is actually a high number, especially if you don't have any under center. But we got a little bit of the pistol that kind of makes up for some of that. We got 2 pitches. We got those 8 counters. We got those 6 draws again. You got a couple fullback runs, and you got 1 legit QB run. I know you got the QB sneak out of goal line, but you do got this QB blast. I'm going to go ahead and call this. Let's call this at a, like against dime, possibly. I don't know if this quarterback can run or not. But anyway, if you got a very light box and you got a quarterback that can handle it, you can do stuff like this, which is pretty cool. Pretty neat, you know. Nice little isolation with your dynamic quarterback if you have one. So you keep backing out. We're going to look at a few more things. Let's go to option. So you only got 13 true option plays. You do not pick this playbook to run a ton of option, but again, it's a smaller playbook, so you're going to have enough option here. You got a little bit of variety. You got your speeds, your reads, you even got an inverted veer if you need it. And you got 19 RPO. So what we talked about, those passes, the screens, 23 plus 19 gives you what, 42 total screenplays, which is pretty nice. But you got your 3 reads, your 4 peaks, but the bulk of these are coming from all these alerts. But what these alerts look like to you, those really quick alert screens to the receiver. And we have those old school screens that we looked at earlier as well. It all blends in together. It's all play action. It's all screen. It's over the top. It's running. It's attacking. It's a very aggressive defense or offense, especially if you want to attack with, you guessed it, a bunch of tight ends as you see right here. Really cool playbook. I like it. I think you're going to like it as well. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.